Good evening and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us at today's workshop. This is one of the most hyped up sessions of CrossNode Hackathon, which is a 36-hour virtual hackathon that the CrossNode community is organizing on the 16th and 17th April. I'll share the link to check it out and apply for it in the chat box. So today it's a great honor to have with us Punit. He's a UX and UI designer and very well known for his work. He's a large and dedicated design audience on Instagram and Twitter as well, and he's a great YouTuber. Today, he'll guide us on how UX is often a crucial part of the product life cycle and how, from the idea to the final launch, UX creates more successful products. Also, he'll tell us about the specialized tools the specialized tools which will help you go from idea to final design in just a few steps. You can put your doubts in the live chat, which Puneet will answer by the end of the session. So let's get into it. Over to you, Puneet.
Hi guys, thank you for joining in. Hopefully my audio is fine now. So today we have a very interesting session because we often talk about design in the sense of visuals and how something is designed before it is developed. But we definitely don't talk too much about how design is an integral part of the product life cycle. When the product goes from a simple basic idea to a final launchable asset for the company, which they launch, and then users use their product. So today I have a little presentation for you guys. Hopefully this will add a lot of value, and no matter whether you're a developer or a designer or a PM, whatever you're striving to do, this will help you out in more ways than one for sure. So let me just bring this up. Awesome. Okay. So the UX design for product success has 2 to 3 varying factors. One is research, the second is design, and the third is testing. So apart from this, everything else that the design teams do are not of a lot of value to other teams. But these 3 pillars of design are something that can really affect the product's success in the long run. And of course, today we're going to check out a really cool tool, so as to say, for non-designers to actually be able to create some really good effective designs. Yes, so I'm sure you guys have heard of no-code tools like Webflow, etc. Imagine a no design tool, a design tool which essentially allows non-designers to design easily. So that is something that we're also going to check out, and we'll see how to bridge that gap. So first of all, let's just quickly talk about what the product lifecycle is, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you aren't aware of this. So the product lifecycle begins from concept and ends at recycling. So concept is where the business says, okay, I have this idea, I want to execute it, and this is the next big step in the business. Okay. Then they go into development. So once the idea is out, product managers develop the idea. Essentially, they say, okay, this is the idea. Now we have to see whether it'll fit the market, whether this product will actually work for the company financially or not. And then it comes to us, designers. UX UI designers create solid MVPs, which are minimal viable products, or a basic design that can be shown to the teams, and from there it goes into product development. Then you have launch. This is very crucial because at this point of time, everything is ready and a successful launch needs to take place. Manufacture. So this stage is often not always in case of, say, a service-based company. It's mostly in case of product-based companies or companies which are actually selling something. So for say a clothing brand, their product is their clothes. So they'll manufacture and distribute this. So this is a varying step which some companies might take, might not. Then you have things like use. So this is CRM, which is customer relationship management. These are the areas where the customer uses everything and builds a relationship with your brand, with your product. So they use it. If they have any problems using it, they contact support or service in this case, and then they throw it away. So when they're throwing it away, oftentimes they might sell. If you sell a car back to the manufacturer, or if you sell your phone back to the manufacturer, you often get like a exchange discount. That's the manufacturer taking back their product, reusing certain components, and saving money on their end as well. So this is the entire product life cycle, which is continuous. Okay. So again, as I've stated, certain things here are very continuous and happen almost every day, even though a lot of other things also happen every day, to be honest. Now, this is when it comes. If I break the prototype stage down, this is the design thinking process. This is where designers come up and say, okay, we are going to empathize with the users. We're going to figure out what the users want, what are their requirements, their needs, who are our users exactly, and help, understanding the users in general. Then you define the problem statements. You say, okay, these are the problems, and these are the possible solutions. Okay, and you're also defining users. So this will help you gather more information about who your target audience is. Okay, so this is where you're defining all of those points that you figured out in the empathizing stage. Then you have ideation, where you build the idea, where you build the solutions, where you say, okay, this is the solution that we really want to come up with. And then you prototype the solution. You figured out a solution. Now you bring it to life through wireframing, through UI design, and through prototyping. And then you test it. Of course, you can't send out a product before testing it, be it a design or a final product. Okay. So this again is what we often use a method called the double diamond method, where everything just moves in an infinity loop. So all of these processes will go back and forth. You can always go back and forth between each of these processes so that a more polished product comes out. Okay, so this is the design thinking process, which basically is how we design or come to a final design. Okay, so there are two areas UX designers can often affect, with their skills or with their decisions. The first one is user research. This is just understanding the user. So they're doing user research, they're constructing personas, and they're shadowing users. So they're saying, okay, this is how the user acts. So this is how the user feels about this product. Then you go to driving the user's actions. So in this case, you are driving the user's actions through nudges and motivations. You often get notifications on your phone saying, okay, why don't you buy this today? Okay, you often get notifications from Swiggy, Zomato, Myntra, all these products out there, all these applications out there that send you notifications trying to nudge you to buy something or get something. There are dark patterns. You might see in certain areas, they try and push you into, or almost guilt trip into, buying something or getting something really quick. That's a dark pattern. Easier checkouts. So again, these are just examples of what you can do. There are thousands of other things UX designers affect, but these are just the things that come to mind when you're thinking of how you drive users' actions. So if somebody is buying something faster, or it's easier to buy something on a website or an application, there's more profits for the company because they're earning more every year because of those changes. Okay, so UX does affect the financials of a company a lot. So this is something I wanted to include because I think this is something multiple teams in the company can benefit from. It's called the customer journey map. And in UX design, a customer journey map is basically understanding, first of all, who the customer is and what his expectations from a product are. So if you open Swiggy, your expectation is that you should easily be able to, order food online. That's your expectation. Your expectation is you should easily be able to find the best restaurants, should be able to see their menu clearly, should be able to maybe even get discounts on certain food, and then should be able to quickly order without hassle. So those are some expectations, correct? So in that case, there are, of course, these 4 to 5 areas that you might go into. Now, this is these colored blocks: the define, compare, negotiate, select. These can vary. Okay, so for an e-commerce website, it could be checkout. So the checkout flow can be one column here. Okay, so whatever steps the user is taking, you're just putting them into columns, and then seeing how the user is reacting at each step. Okay, so for Swiggy, your first step is to search for a restaurant or a dish. Okay, so the first step can be search. Okay, so there the user might have a good experience because search is pretty good. Then maybe if you're not being able to see a lot of the good restaurants around you, might be disappointed. Then the chart goes down. You understanding this chart at the bottom, it's basically your experience chart. It's saying, okay, for you this step is easy, and then the next step is difficult, so the chart goes down. So the more level the chart, the better it is. Okay, rather than a chart that goes down. So we need to fix areas where the chart is going down, and when the user is disappointed, where the user is not feeling good about a certain step or confused, we need to fix those things. And this is how customer journey map helps the entire company out. Product managers use try and see this. Developers want to see this because they want to know what are the problem areas for these people. So there are multiple teams, multiple departments which want to check this out, and that is why it really affects the entire organization and the entire product in general. So this is, I say, to achieve a better business, this is, even for non-designers, this is a good place to start, to be honest. Okay, so I think we've discussed a bunch of things like how you can achieve better business through a customer journey map. What are the two areas that a UX designer focuses from the point of view of users and from the point of view of business. Then you have the design thinking process, the product life cycle, and how the UX design process affects the product life cycle and where it stands. And basically a bunch of areas you guys can focus on in the future. Now, a lot of you guys, I'm sure, attending this hackathon are non-designers or people who want to get into design, but the whole thing is very tedious. Okay, but imagine a tool that kind of fixes and bridges the entire gap. Okay, helps you design even if you know nothing about design. Okay, be it UX, be it UI, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna let me just share another part of my screen real quick. And we're going to check out something really cool which you guys can try tonight. Just go through certain things here, and I'm just going to go through the tool to help you better understand what it is all about and how you guys can use it in your design process and really learn something from it. So this will be a nice little fun hands-on session as well. Okay, great. Okay, so I'll just share the other screen. Okay. Okay, so I've shared my other screen. Let's see. Guys, can you share this other screen of mine that I've just... Okay, awesome. Okay, so this is how the tool looks like. This is something that you can open up even in your browser, just like some other tools out there. This is a browser-based tool, so you don't even have to download anything, and it's free. Okay, so first of all, there is a create new project, and I'll start to show you the magic of it. You can start with something which you feel comfortable with. So first of all, they have a lot of templates that you can get as a UI designer. You can just pick up and go, essentially. Okay, so they have material design, they have iOS, they have everything that you can get started with. Some are in the pro version, some are not. So I'm just going to pick up iOS 15. If you're building an app or something for an Apple device, this would be a good place to start. So rather than you having to start creating everything, this starts you off with a bunch of ready-made components to begin with. but I'm going to show you a little bit of the magic in a moment. So here, as you can see, they already have a bunch of demo screens you can kind of check out and kind of use this application based on Apple's HIG, which is their design system. Okay, human interface guidelines. So this is just a basic application render they have. You can reuse these components. Now the real fun begins. If I delete all of this, the real fun begins when I say, okay, uh, I want to start by a drawing. I want a drawing to be able to convert into a complete product in a matter of seconds. Sounds a little crazy to a lot of people. How can a drawing on a sheet of paper, do that? But it's possible with this tool right here. So the scribble scanning is one of these tools inside this tool. What it allows you to do is I've already kind of uploaded some basic wireframes on top here, and let's see how a sketched out wireframe on a sheet of paper can be used in this tool. So if I'll select the first one and I'll say upload, and it takes a couple of seconds. This is AI based, so basically what it's doing, it's reading the screen. It's using AI visuals to be able to kind of check out what's on screen, and based on the visual recognition, it then converts all the components into actual final elements that you can put on an actual screen. Okay, so anything that you've designed or drawn on just a sheet of paper will be neatly turned into an actual digital product right here. So, of course, it's not the final result. Of course, you have to edit a lot of things, but this gets you much closer to the final product as compared to using a design tool from scratch and learning the entire tool and learning everything around it. Okay, so this already converts a lot of things for us. Depending on what components you have, it can kind of edit that. So you have the navigation at the bottom, you have a little carousel right here, you have some images on top, a title, you have an input field. Everything has been recognized by the tool and kind of converted from a sheet of paper onto your screen right here. So right here you have a somewhat okay screen, but then comes two other features that you can really try out, and it's really cool to try out. Now, any design can then, of course, being converted into a wireframe again. Okay, why is this useful? Because sometimes what a final design needs to be converted into a wireframe so as to kind of see everything without color, see everything without its final styling. Okay, oftentimes a designer will create some components and it'll be confusing for, say, a product manager or a company CEO who knows nothing about design. But if you show him a basic wireframe, he'll think this is the final design and he'll judge you on that. It's a very common problem in the design industry. So converting something back into wireframe can be very useful, and it does it seamlessly. So what it's doing is just automatically converting things, auto-magically is what they call it, from a final design back into a wireframe. So it's any designs that you see or created, you can convert into a wireframe and then play around with that wireframe. This is a very important tool. I'm glad that they really incorporated it, and it's easy to switch between them. Now, oftentimes what happens is non-designers take inspiration from websites like Dribble, Google, Pinterest on different designs. So for example, your favorite designed app is Spotify. Okay, and Spotify has a great theme, has great designs, has great button design, has great typography. Everything is great, you like it. Okay, now we want to incorporate the theme of Spotify into, say, a redesign that you're doing as a project, or something that you want to incorporate, some elements you want to incorporate in your own designs. Now, it generally, that task itself takes a couple of hours to kind of understand and do it. But this tool completely eradicates the entire step, and kind of compresses it into 1 to 2 steps only. So there's a feature on this AI-based tool called Smart Themes, which what it does is It can create theme from anything. It can create a theme from a sketch file, which is again UI designers will know. It can create theme from URL. So if I visit something like Spotify, if I just visit the website, okay, web music player, whatever it is, I think I should be logged in. I'm just going to show you live so that you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm just waiting for Spotify to open up. It's somehow, for some reason, it's kind of slow today. Maybe I've opened it after a long time. Okay, so this is Spotify's design. Everything is right here. Now, if you come back, we come back here, you can create a theme from the entire Spotify's website. You can fetch any website from there and you can create a complete theme. I'm not sure if this will work because I've logged in. Maybe if I'm logged out, it'll be easier for the tool to figure out. But I think it's already figured this out. The entire design, it shows you a preview of the things on screen. So you have black and gray and all these colors on top. And then you can say, okay, I want to create a theme using this. In a few seconds, it takes that screenshot of that page, and within a few seconds, it generally is pretty quick. As you can see, it's already 40% through. This might take a minute or two, maybe because of my internet sucks right now. It's pretty close. So essentially, what it's doing is, again, it's using its AI. This is an AI powered tool, so it should be kind of easily do it. So what it does is it kind of takes some of those colors and puts it here. Now, this is not the best example because we don't have a lot of colors on screen. It again takes a screenshot. So it's better just to go to Google and we'll say Spotify. And if I come here, it should show me, say, Spotify's app. For example, this Spotify's green room. This is a good example. I want, say, something like this. Yeah, that's cool. This is a static image. Static images are the best. I'm going to save this image real quick onto my computer, and I'm going to do it from an image. This time it should be able to figure out what the web page is out a little more. Okay, and I'm going to create it. Again, takes a couple of seconds to kind of process the image and kind of convert it into the final design criteria. As you can see, first of all, converts it into a dark mode, understands that it's a dark mode application. Everything there was like that. And what you can do is, if I go back, yeah. So what you can also do is open this template section, at any point of time when you're going through. And as you can see, it's already applied that dark theme onto all the other elements is like this, So it's kind of picked up from there and, created a theme around that, of course. There have been times when I've tried a few screenshots and it's been very good with the colors also. Somehow today the color algorithm isn't working very well, maybe because this is not a very high definition picture, or it just has too many elements on screen. But with the right kind of app design or picture or screenshot, you can get exact colors into here as well. And it kind of applies everything to the templates. So any template you want, you don't have to be a designer to understand how do I design a card. They already have a card for you. Okay, they have a card section, very easy to understand. A lot of these are, of course, under the pro plan. I don't have it. I don't really use the tool every day. I'm a designer, so I don't need it. But at any point of time, if you need it, it's definitely there for you. So this is, like one of those power tools that can help you design faster and better. And not only that, it also, kind of has various export options. So you can export it, share it with people. So once you have a design, you can share it with a team, say, of developers who are going to create it. Okay. Apart from that, it also has a lot of active components in the sense, if I drop this drop down right here, say inside this design, right, like this, okay, just for reference. Okay. If I preview it, it can show me a quick prototype so that you can get to the prototype faster. It opens up a real quick prototype right here. And it's an actual drop down. So all the elements right here work from the box. Any other tool, XD, Figma, whatever you use, you have to design all these prototypes from scratch mostly. So understanding a design tool will get 2x difficult. This is generally very easy now because everything just works automatically. Everything just works the way it is supposed to. You can add buttons, you can add forms, you can add icons and images, everything from here. You don't have to be a designer to understand anything. You just have to use this tool to kind of get to the final result faster. Essentially, this is what it's meant for. You can even invite your team members, essentially. So, tools like this kind of allow you to kind of, be a designer without being a designer. It's like no code tools. No code tools are for people and companies who don't want to invest money or time on learning or executing code. They'd rather just create, say, Webflow allows you to create a quick website without having any knowledge of CSS, HTML, JavaScript, jQuery, whatever. Okay, so really understanding such tools and using them to your advantage can be very beneficial to you guys, in the long run. So this is one of those hands-on sessions that I wanted to give you just to quickly help you understand. A lot of tutorials out there on YouTube. I have some tutorials on UIZ, how to use it and utilize it. Now, I want to show you one more tool that is again a no-code tool, but helps you go from a design like this that we created to a final app that you can install on your phone. This is a huge problem. You have an app idea. The product lifecycle just becomes exponentially larger if your idea takes hours or maybe weeks or days to complete uh, a first cycle. You're having to wait months for your MVP to be built or shown to your investors. There's so many cases or case studies where people are having a difficult time executing their ideas. So this next tool kind of helps you do that. So it's basically called Bravo Studio. And if you are in the no code game, there's a 99% chance that you know about this tool. And it's essential for a lot of developers and designers out there. So just by the overall glimpse of the website, what it does is, again, a web-based tool. It connects it allows you to connect backend to your front end, which is your designs that you've created, and create full-fledged applications. In fact, I had a discussion with one of their founders a while back when I was, trying to do some content around it, and they wanted to kind of reach out and talk about a potential collaboration, and we did collaborate. And one of the founders, kind of showed me some things which were very unbelievable. They created an Instagram clone, an exact app that works exactly like Instagram, has all the amazing features, polished features, using Bravo. And all they did was create a basic design in Figma, connected to a backend and connected to certain services that allowed them to utilize, say, things like adding a photo to a server and then showcasing that photo, or storing likes and dislikes or shares, etc. So all of that was achieved using just this tool and Figma. So any design tool, it could be UIZ or Figma or XD, can be used alongside Bravo to kind of create a full-fledged app around it. Okay. So again, it has both support for Android and iOS. So be it an Android app or an iOS app, this allows you to create it. Okay. And this has applications on individual platforms so that you can test your apps out before you do it. I'm just going to quickly show you how it can be used basically. So I'm just going to log into my account real quick. Log in with Figma. It allows you to log in with Figma. How cool is that? Okay. So if you're using Figma already, it's going to be a breeze for you. If you're not, it's okay. By the way, UIZ syncs with Figma also. So even if you're designing a UIZ, it's okay. So for example, I will show you one or two examples of what I have created, just so that you have a good idea of how this app works and how you can create something. So here, okay, so for this This is a very basic application. It's a wallpaper application where you can find new wallpapers for your phone or whatever, download them and apply them onto your. So an application. I'm sure you guys have kind of used this. So as you can see, real quick, this is a PDP or a product display page in a sense. And what it's doing is it's taking the image. So here, as you can see, the header, the anything that has this icon, this means that it's connected to a database. Okay, so let me just quickly, yeah. So here we have a table. This table is actually an Airtable. Okay, as you can see, Airtable icon is here. Airtable again is like Excel, but it has a lot of automation features and it's easier to use, in my opinion. So it gets wallpapers I've uploaded on a server and then portrays them on this design. So all I did was design this basic design in Figma and then link it to my backend real quick. Okay. So that's how you get it. And apart from that, what other great things that you can do? Let me show you one or two things that I've kind of done. Okay, so it might not be here at the moment, but okay, there's data binding. Cool. So some other features that exist inside this is to be able to add certain actions that you can do in an application. I'm quickly going to show you what I mean by that. So I have a bunch of so they have a one application that we've created. It's called it's part of the kit and we kind of worked on this together. It's called the Foodies Guide. Again, it's a blog based application, to be honest, and it has a lot of navigation components, a lot of things that you can expanding images and emailing, calling, or sharing locations and stuff like that. So for example, this is the page inside here, and it has all these great components. Now all this images and buttons are then connected to a backend. Now apart from, so let me quickly show you what I mean. So there is, of course, first of all, to begin with, there's Firebase support and Oath 2.0 support. So you can have login register flows just like in any other application. Okay. Again, this is all no code. So they're trying to eradicate code everywhere. Okay. You also have Stripe support. So if you want payments, in-app payments, that is there as well. You can even trigger notifications from inside this. Okay, so this again is a paid feature. But if you had Bravo, the full version of Bravo, and you were using it daily, you could basically, just like you get notifications from apps and companies, this is what you can use here. Okay, you can even have version management. So you're okay, version 1.0, version 1.1, like that. Again, you can deep link between applications or parts of the application, and you can make it multilingual. So if you want an application to have a Japanese version, you can have that as well here. Okay. So these are just the screens. API collections are here. So basically what you're doing is you're creating an API. Developers will know what an API is, application programming interface, which then connects either with your Airtable, Excel, backend servers, if you whatever you're using, MongoDB, whatever you're using to kind of host servers and manage servers, you can then connect. So there are some basic support. There's Postman support, there's Swagger import support, there's Open API. What else do you need? Or you can just start from scratch. So if you want to call in a basic API like they used in the Instagram demo, that they're used with multiple APIs which aren't even supported right now. So you can start from scratch by building your own API inside this tool right here, and then kind of connecting it to whatever service you want. Okay, just to check out, they have a apps marketplace. Okay, so for example, you're on the lookout for creating a QR code scanner application. Okay, just for example, they have an entire ready app here. So what you can do is either duplicate this, or you can even see the original Figma files. So if you want the designs from these ready applications, you can get it from there. I mean, these shortcuts will help you so much. So if I want to duplicate it, it duplicates it into my library so that I can just pick this up and start using it. So again, it is a wiser container. So here it's basically, again, it's not visible to me because they have it in their projects, and it's, again, you have to upgrade for it. But it's bringing up the camera. It's being able to utilize the camera from inside this rectangle right here. So a lot of features and functionalities can be added and then can be published. So you can get a final APK or an Android IPA, and then kind of publish it onto the respected marketplaces. Apart from that, you can even publish from here. You don't even have to know how to be able to publish an app on the Play Store or the App Store. You can do it from right here. So this eradicates knowing anything about coding, publishing an application, nothing. Everything is now on one platform. Okay, so Bravo allows you to do that. Again, a lot of tutorials on Bravo I have done, Jesse has done, a lot of other YouTubers have done, on how to use this app with any design tool out there. So convert your designs into a final app easily without having any knowledge of code. And I know a lot of no code tools pisses off developers, but trust me, if you want to get a product faster, an MVP faster into the market for trials, for testing, for even a final product, just you can use certain applications and services like this. And this is how the industry is trying to bridge the gap between a designer and a developer and the market out there. So this is, again, this is what I had to kind of show to you guys, and that's my time with you guys today, basically. So again, I'll just close this being real quick. Guys, you want to jump in?
So, are there any questions in the live chat which Punit can answer?
Yeah,
Workshop.
up for Okay. Why is it called a double diamond method? So again, it's just a fancier way of saying it. You can call it the infinity method, whatever you want, you can call it. But it's called the double diamond method because it moves across different segments of the design process. So earlier, the design process used to be linear until designers realized that it needs to be something which flows continuously in like an infinity sign. So double diamond is just another way of calling it. It looks like two diamonds are placed together. It's like this. Infinity, of course, if you create an infinity, there are no edges. So putting points on those edges will be difficult. So that's why we use diamonds to kind of identify. Again, you can always check out the double. If you search for double diamond design process, you'll get the image and then you'll be able to see what is where, basically. Yeah. So basically, you take out your notebook, um, design anything on the notebook, on your sheet of paper, whatever, and then you just upload it to the UIZerd. It has an upload option. Just take a photo from your phone, upload it onto your computer, and there you have it. So basically, it bridges that gap, and it's kind of like a magical tool which uses AI to process, what is a button. So if you drawn a button, it'll identify, okay, this is a button, and it converts it into a digital design button, basically. Yeah, so the first tool that I mentioned was UIZerd, UIZARD, UIZerd.com, .io. So you can quickly search for UIZerd on Google, you'll find it. The second tool was Bravo Studio. So if you search for Bravo Studio, I'm just searching from my end just to make sure it actually does open. Yeah, Bravo Studio, build mobile apps smarter.
Right.
Okay, so those are the two tools right here. Any other questions, guys? I'm cool with taking up.
No, that's it.
Awesome.
So thank you so much, Puneet, for taking an awesome session. It was really insightful and worth it, especially the great tools which you talked about. So, guys, that's it for today's session. It was a part of the virtual hackathon which the CrossNote community is organizing. We have prizes for the top 8 winners and rewards for different categories like Girls Power Hack, Everyone's Prizes, and many more. I've shared the link to check it out and apply in the live chat. I hope you I hope you all enjoyed as much as I did and got to learn a lot from Punit. Thank you so much, Punit, and thank you so much everyone for staying till the end. Make sure to check out the hackathon. Link is in the live chat. Thank you so much, and bye bye.